Namaste everyone, welcome to the channel once again. So today I'm going to give the Saturn transit predictions for Sagittarius ascendants or moon sign. Saturn is going to transit to the sign of Aries on 2028 April, and it's going to stay there in the sign of Aries till 2013 February. So how this transit is going to influence people who are born with Sagittarius ascendant or moon sign. So let's find out. For Sagittarius ascendants or moon sign, Saturn is going to transit to your fifth house. Saturn was in your fourth house, and Saturn will be transiting to the fifth house in this transit. Okay, and Saturn here is controlling the second and third house for your people, and then it's going to the fifth from the fourth house. So this is the planetary alignment of Saturn for Sagittarius people. Okay, and Saturn will be transiting to two and a half constellations in this time period, and that is Ashwini, Bharani, and Kritika Nakshatra. So this is the planetary alignment of Saturn in this transit. So let's find out how this alignment is going to influence these people on this transit. Okay, when Saturn transit to your fifth house, the main thing that's going to happen is that delays in having children. So if you're planning to have any children in this time, it can get little delayed, not denied but delayed. But these delays will be worth the wait. Okay, since Saturn is going to the fifth house in Ashwini Nakshatra, maybe this delays this might be for a good reason or for a good cause. Like after the delays, you might be realizing that delay was good because the situation might be worse if you had children in those times. So later you will be realizing that was for a good cause. So mostly for good reasons only this transit of Saturn in Ashwini Nakshatra is influencing for your people. And the other thing is Saturn is controlling the second house and then going to the fifth house. So long term investments, best time period for long term investments. You will be able to do it. If you have any plans for opening an FD account or any long term investment, the best time period for these things. And through these investments, you can see most problems of your life getting solved since Saturn is controlling second house and then going to the Ashwini Nakshatra fifth house of the best time period. That's the best time period. Okay. If you are a person who have already invested, you will see that sudden good growth in this transit. Not sudden but stable good growth. Okay. And Saturn here is controlling the third house of efforts to the fifth house of Aries with Saturn's energy. So this signifies you will be putting a lot of efforts to fix things in your life. Whatever things that is broken in your life, it can be anything related to your personal life, love life, or it can be anything that is broken in your life. You will be putting so much of efforts to fix those issues, and that effort will get good results also since it's Saturn blesses the one who does the hard work. Okay, so best time period for fixing the issues in your life, mainly since it's coming in Ashwini Nakshatra. Health issues, if there is any long term health issues you are facing, this time you'll be able to cure it. Okay, and when Saturn moves to the constellation of Bharani in the fifth house, you will be having the best time with the kids. Okay, you will be spending quality time with your kids, and also you will be able to become a good parent in this time. Okay, Saturn brings that practicality, discipline, and that mature decision into your fifth house. So you will be able to become that mature and wise parent. Okay, our parents should be that type energy will be having in this time period, in this transit. Okay, and good time period for stock market, investing mutual funds. If you are into these things, you can see progress. Okay, and also if you are planning to start any business in this time period, I recommend to start in this transit. If you start in this transit, you will have that long-term steady success. Okay, to tell ultimately To tell ultimately I need to see horoscope also, but basically telling on this transit only is a good time. And Saturn here is acting as a career positive changer. That is because here Saturn is going to fifth house. That means it is 10 houses. It is 8 houses away from the 10th house of your profession. So this means there is a positive change that can happen. There is a positive change you can expect in professional field mainly. Okay, and also the relationship with the father can turn to positive. If there is any relationship issues you have with your father, you can see this transforming to something positive. Okay, and that positive transformation will be preserved for a long time. It will be long term best time period with your father. Okay, and all the negative things, it can be ego issues or any things that is going on between you that made this relationship worse, that will be cut off, that will be removed from your life with the help of Saturn. Okay, and also good time period with your friends, your younger siblings. Friends, I said third house because third house is actually the type of friends, especially in the day and age we currently live in. Friends are mostly the one you hang out with, have fun, that type of energy. But it is very rarely there is 11th house type friends in your life, like being supportive, being very supportive. That type of energy is for very few people only. But mostly third house energy represents the casual friends you hang out with, having fun with. Okay, that type of energy is third house actually. So good time period with that type of friends. Okay, you will have the best time. This transit. And like I always tell in every video, Saturn will only give the positive results I tell if Saturn is happy in your life. Otherwise, the exact opposite result will be coming in your life. To make Saturn happy in your life, you have to be in a way, in a way that follows all the rules of Saturn. Okay, so let me tell what are those rules. Saturn represents rules, regulations, discipline in your lives. And also Saturn represents your employees, your servants, your workers. All these things is represented by Saturn. Okay, and also Saturn originally controls the 10th house of father. So your father also in a way represents Saturn. Sun also represents father, and Saturn also represents. Okay, so you have to follow, you have to perform these areas in your life in the best way, like following all the rules and regulations in your life, being nice to your servants, your employees, and since Saturn is coming in the fifth house of Ashwini Nakshatra in this transit, we have to do a small dharmic energy in this area. Saturn also represents non-profit organizations like charity. Since it's starting in the Ashwini Nakshatra and fifth house in the transit, to helping people medically, helping any poor people medically can bring the best side of this Saturn's transit. Okay, and the second house and third house is also controlled by Saturn in this transit. So helping your younger sibling medically if there is any need, and also any member of family on the mother's side, any member on the mother's side family, helping them medically if there is any help needed there. Okay, and Saturn originally is also father, so also father counts here. So you just sparkling little karmic energy in this transit and make Saturn happy. Okay, so if you follow this properly, all these things I said, you can get all these positive results I tell. Otherwise, it will be exact opposite. Okay, so bye for now. We'll be seeing you next with another insights. Subscribe to this site for more astrological contents. So bye.